Welcome. Have you ever thought or felt like there's so much more you could be doing? There's maybe something you can't figure out that you really want to harness your power and be the leader that expresses and influences big change. Well, I've got influential leaders here today talking to you about how to harness the power of your mind and become the leader you want to be. So let's go ahead and say hi to them. Hi, Wendy. And this is Wendy Ryan.
Hi, Laura. I'm happy to be here. I'm Wendy Ryan. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Cadabra, and you can find me at wearecadabra.com. And I'm here in San Jose, California.
Well, welcome. Great to have you. And let's go say hi to our next guest, Natasha. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Laura. I'm Natasha Williams. I'm here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm the founder of ThinkRichSociety.com, and I'm a financial strategist who help women to recreate their life to live the best life ever.
Great to have you, Natasha. And Deborah, hi.
Hi, Laura. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. My name is Deborah Marcia Rubin, and I'm a wellness educator, and I focus on the breath, yoga, and meditation to bring that calm and energy into the mind. My website is deborahrubin.ca, and I am in the glorious Victoria, BC.
Wonderful. Great to have you. And Wendy Hall, hi.
Hi, Laura. I'm Wendy Hall, and I'm a business financial advisor. You can find me online at sosllc.com, and I'm in the greater Milwaukee area of Wisconsin.
Great to have you. So today we want to talk about harnessing the power of the mind. And I know each of you have tips and tools and strategies and philosophies on that. So let's start over with Wendy Ryan. And what advice can you give viewers about how to harness the power of their mind and reach their potential?
Well, in leadership specifically, Laura, I would say there are three things that we really work to help leaders and their organizations do. One is to really get clear on mindsets and shift those. And mindsets are how we think. The other thing we work on and that you can focus on are building skills. And that's really, what do you know and what do you know how to do? And the third thing is your behavior, how you show up to others. And that is so important in leadership.
So mindset, behaviors, and skills, all what a magical combination for harnessing the power of your mind. So I wanted to hear from Natasha. Tell me about what your advice is so for leaders to harness the power of their mind.
Yeah, I piggyback on what Wendy said. It all starts with mindset. First of all, you have to be confident and to believe in what you can do. You have to be fearless. Go for what you want. Don't let anything stop you. And that starts with setting goals. So I create just a simple roadmap that helps professionals, mostly women, but I help work with men too, just know what they want, create a roadmap in order to get them down the road to where they need to be.
Fabulous. So it sounds like clarity really helps to conquer fear.
Yes, yes. I mean, I know just from my personal experience, sometimes we hold ourselves back because of, fear of failure, fear of success. But once you get over that hump, I mean, dreams come true. I'm living proof of that.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear about that. All right. And Deborah, tell us about what advice you have from the wellness side of how can we really maximize our minds and live our full potential?
Yes, well, the breath we're connected to the breath with anything we do, everything we do in life, 24/7. So it's really important to have a mechanism in the way we breathe that allows us to have that calm, cool, and collectedness so that we can enhance our mindset. Because when we're stressed out and agitated, then we can't think and we don't have that ability. So our connection to our breath will settle us down and bring us into that place of calm. But there's certain ways to do that. And so I will tell you a little later about that, how you can simply connect with your breath so you can have the vitality and energy and the stamina, bring yourself to that place of calm to affect your mind.
Did you have a little exercise for us that you want us to do?
I do.
Okay. This would be a great time to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I'd like everybody to sit tall and open up your abdominal cavity so there's space for your diaphragm to move, and relax your shoulders. Lift the crown of your head to the ceiling and just check in with your breath first of all. And notice that you're breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And you're breathing into the lower rib cage and the diaphragm. Slow, light, and deep. And with that slow, light, and deep, it takes you inside the body, so you're out of the mind, so that you can feel what is actually going on and feel that calmness overtake. Just through the breath, that beauty.
So simple, yet so powerful.
So simple and very powerful. And do that. You can do it when you're doing the dishes or when you're on the computer or when you're preparing to speak live on Facebook.
That's great. Thanks, Deborah. So Wendy, now that we're all kind of centered, what advice do you have for leaders to harness the power of their mind and reach their potential?
Well, surprisingly, the mind is so powerful, but yet when our leaders and everyone makes money choices, they often think that money choices are logical, but they're not. They're actually behavioral and emotional. And so your mind can play tricks on you when it comes to thinking about money and finances. And many people often ignore or turn a blind eye to their finances because they don't believe that they understand what to do or how to do it. And rather than fighting your natural tendencies, what we do is frame your behaviors and habits to work for you instead of fighting against you. So you can actually turn the power of your mind to help you with some of your financial choices. And what we always recommend is that with every dollar a business owner brings in, they split it up. So you split it between money for taxes, money for your personal compensation, money for your operating expenses, and money for profit. Because after all, that's why people get into business, is to generate a profit. And no matter what your level of income is, this allocation can allow you to thrive and succeed. And by this method, we're using your mindset and your behaviors to help fuel you forward instead of holding you back. So no matter what your level of income is, we always recommend that you set aside a percentage of all your revenue for each one of these areas. And don't buy something under the premise that you can write it off. It's so common. You still have to pay for it. So you want to be mindful of your business finances, or soon you'll be out of business.
I love it. Yes. Wow. Mindfulness, it has a part in every part of our life. And Wendy Ryan, you kind of set the stage for that by breaking it into the three different parts: the mindset, the skill set, and the behaviors. And each of our guests talked about how you can do that. You need the clarity, you need the calmness, and then you need the structure, as Wendy Hall just said, to prevent you from doing some things that you either avoid or do out of habit, to really get you to where you want to go. I love this. You are a power team for harnessing the power of your mind to get the influence and make the impact you want and live the life you love. So I want to know a little bit more about each of you and how you do and how you as a leader impact people. So Wendy Ryan, why don't you start us off and tell us, who do you work with and what do you do? How do you actually help them with this?
Yeah, thanks, Laura. We work with conscious leaders or people who aspire to be there. So much like we've been talking about, people who are really committed to saying, I know my mindsets matter. I'm ready to become more mindful in my leadership. And oftentimes you find those leaders everywhere, but especially in organizations that are, as we say, committed to the triple bottom line. So they think about, other than profit, they think about people and they think about the planet too. So we typically serve organizations that really are looking with that holistic lens at how they're impacting the world. And one of the ways that we really look to do that is, first of all, meeting you where you are. So if you're a leader in an organization, you're at all different stages of development. Some are large, some are small, some are brand new organizations, some have been around for a while, and now they're looking to reinvent. So for us, it's all about the individual understanding of who you are, what you need, and where you're trying to go. And if there was one piece of advice I have for anyone who wants to start on that journey, it's work on your self-awareness. So by becoming more mindful, understanding who you are and what makes you tick, that is the foundation for everything in terms of conscious leadership.
And do you have a story about how you helped someone, or about how you came to this work?
Lots of stories, but one of my favorite recently was, I have a client who I was coaching for a bit of time, and she just contributed a chapter in a book. So she just did her first publication as an author, and she actually credited me in the book as someone who had really helped her find her voice, and that was so meaningful to have people come back and say, you know, the work we did together really was transformative for me. And if I hadn't done that work, I wouldn't be where I am now as a leader, and I would never have been able to put this out into the world.
Beautiful. And what's beautiful about what your work is that you work with the triple bottom line. I caught that: the people, the planet, and the profits. So it's a unique approach in today's day and age. So thank you for the great work you're doing. And I wanted to go over to Natasha now and ask you about, who are the people you work with? What do you love doing with them? What lights you up?
So mostly when people think about leaders, they think about leaders of organizations and corporations. And you know what, even if you are a stay-at-home mom, you're a leader of your household. So I work with not just business owners, but professionals in general, both men and women, who are at a point in their life where they either are leader of a team, a leader of their own self, or their own family. And then they feel like they're stuck, and then they don't know which way to go. You know, when we start off as an adult, a young adult on our journey, you know, we go with the status quo, what we think we should do. When you get to be a certain age, maybe mid 30s to 40s, you start having to shift. Maybe you're in a profession that you don't like, you don't love anymore, you're not passionate about it. So I help those people figure out what they're really passionate about. How do they get to the point to live the life they really want? A lot of people are afraid because, you know, they have to be responsible adults and have responsibilities, and they don't want to make a shift. They don't know if they should switch, pivot, or quit to start something new. And starting something new is always scary. And so usually what I've experienced is that it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. Fear is in the mind, and fear will keep you from living your best life. And once you get over the fear and believe that you can accomplish it, you can, I mean, even if you want to make $1 million, you can make $1 million, but $1 at a time. There's a strategy in place. You know, most people are overcome with debt. That's the first thing we usually tackle, is how to get out of debt, because debt is very, it's a burden, and it puts a lot more stress on you. And because of the debt, you feel like you can't really get out of the hole that you've created. But let me tell you, it's possible. I've helped people get out of debt, stay out of debt, and start really embarking on a journey, the second half of their life, to make it better than the first half.
Do you have a specific story of one you want to share?
I do. I was mentoring a young lady. She was in her mid 30s. She had a great career. She felt like she was stuck. She wasn't. She loved what she did, but she didn't feel the passion. But because of responsibilities and stuff, she didn't want to just take a leap. And so I found out, first of all, what her fears were, and some of her fears were really unfounded. It was just the fear of, what if it happens, or, you know, what if it doesn't happen? And so we worked through her fears. We got her to set goals, and then just to be courageous. Just take one courageous step at a time. So we made a roadmap of the different steps that were needed for her to get to the end result. And when she did the first step, and then saw success, and then she realized that her fears were unwarranted. It was just fear of self-doubt. She didn't have, courage in herself or belief in herself. Sometimes you don't even have support, like from your significant other or your husband or family members, and people always tell you, you can't do that. Or, why do you want to do that? And I always tell people, small minds can't dream big dreams. So don't share your big dreams with somebody who, if they can't see it for themselves, they can't see it for you. So we just worked through this process that I have. And let me tell you, she set 3 goals and she reached all 3 of those goals in 1 year, And it was all because she believed she could do it. And then she had a framework and a path, for her to take. And she was just overwhelmed.
Yeah, and what I'm taking away from both you and Wendy is when you have someone who believes in you alongside of you, helping you to keep reframing your mindset, you can become unstoppable. And that's really about, you don't have to harness the power of the mind. You may need a guide in order to do that. You don't have to do it on your own is where I'm going with that. So thank you. And Deborah, I know that's kind of what you led us through. So tell us more about who do you work with? What do you do that lights you up?
Well, I work with predominantly women who really have a verve for life, and they want to make an impact. They want to make an impact on their own surroundings, their own family members, and out into the world. And sometimes that fear, that mindset really gets in the way. And so the breath is it's there all the time. You don't have to go anywhere. It's free. You can just check in and bring yourself down to that place of calm and back up to a place of vitality and stamina and a sense of self. Because what I like to do is take that balance of the mind, body, and spirit, which is the breath and the mind and yoga and meditation, and get a sense of, because the body is so intertwined with the mind, that we can bring ourselves back to a place of feeling calm and feeling like, okay, I've got rid of this fear because I could feel the fear. And that's also being very mindful, as both Wendy and Natasha have said, that mindfulness of what is happening in my body. Well, you can tune into your breath and wash away that feeling of anxiety rather quickly by being aware of what you're doing and at the same time being aware of what you're being. And the breath is just so powerful, but there's ways to do the breath. Sometimes it's just really great to use a breath that is so relaxing, and other times it's great to use a breath that energizes you. It's that flexible, and it's learning how to use the breath in occasions when it's going to be the most benefit. And that's why also the breath and the body moving together is just like the piece de resistance.
Beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to be more consciously breathing here. It's very inspiring to know that, Wendy and Natasha talked about, okay, yeah, we can help you get your mindset, but then you have the power within you with just breathing to do a lot of the work that can let you use Natasha and Wendy, both Wendy's actually, but even better. So tell us, how did you get to this work?
Well, so at 24, I was in South Africa and somebody introduced me to yoga, and there was just something so powerful with that. And ever since, it's been my underpinning, and I am continually learning and examining and doing, and I wanted to share that bliss, to use that word, that bliss that I get from my body, and how I can use those tools, and I do use those tools on an ongoing basis to bring me into this place of, okay, if the fear is coming up, or if some anxiety, that I can bring myself through movement, through breath, through mindfulness, through all these different elements. And so I've brought that out into what I do. So it's my passion. I want to express that and give that away to people so that they can be the best that they can and affect their mindset, so that we can all change this world, because we're changing and it's changing. And we need to empower ourselves to be able to come from that place of a sense of knowing, a sense of being, and feeling grounded.
And we need to reduce that anxiety level in the world, one breath at a time.
One breath. I like that.
Great. So now that we're doing that, Wendy Hall can help us focus in on how we can create greater wealth and profit. So Wendy, talk to us more about what is it that you do and how do you help people?
So I help speakers and coaches who feel that their business and personal finances are a mystery and out of control. so they can feel more confident about their business and money decisions and spend more time doing the work they love and helping others through their own personal missions, providing them with more financial stability for themselves and their family so that they can achieve their goals, including retirement, and helping others through their work. So I'm kind of the support person for the support person. So we work with a lot of coaches and speakers who just are really struggling and they want to help others, but unless they have a solid foundation, they're unable to fulfill their own mission. And so just like Natasha, we stress the importance of paying off debt and staying out of debt because it really is a heavy weight on a lot of people's finances. And that foundation is so important to help you move forward. And it gives your mind the confidence that you can do almost anything when you're not stressed or worried about money and your finances and your bottom line and making those financial decisions. And so we help you set up the right framework and move in the right direction so that you can achieve all your goals and not have that stress behind you. For example, I had a client, Tammy. She came to me with multiple years of tax debt because her speaking business was so successful that she hadn't planned for a lot of the taxes that come along with that success. And she was confused about making the right financial decisions for her business and her consulting to move forward and prosper. So we set her up with a process to help her pay off her tax debt and implemented cash flow changes to ensure that she would always have business cash available to pay her taxes and pay herself and save for retirement. And we continue to work with her regularly so that she can continue to achieve those goals and have a solid financial future so that when she works with her clients, she has that comfort and assurance that she is taken care of so that she can focus on taking care of others. It's that old airplane mask coming down from the ceiling where you need to put on your own mask before you can help others put theirs on. And so we want to help make sure that we have you putting your mask on before you go and help others with theirs.
Well, thank you. I love the story about Tammy and how you got her to really be able to do that, put her mask on and then be able to be more effective in the world. And that was today's topic, is harnessing the power of the mind and the practices that go along with that to be the full potential leader you can be today. And that's what we do here at Women Speakers Association. So I wanted to hear from each of you about your experience with Women Speakers Association and the value that you are getting or already looking forward to get. So Wendy Ryan, do you want to start us off?
Yes, Cadabra is an interdisciplinary team. So I don't do this work by myself. I have a whole team of experts. And that's kind of how I view Women Speakers Association. It's like the best of every single knowledge base we can think of coming together in a community of mutual support. And so I'm just so appreciative that the resources are available and the attitude is collaborative and let's win together and let's excel together. That's just so congruent with how we work at my company.
I love it. Well, we're glad to have you here. Incongruency. You get it. Anyway, great. And Natasha, tell us about what you love about Women Speakers Association.
Oh, yes. What I love about Women Speakers Association is that it feels like a sisterhood. It's not just an association that just members. Everybody seems like we're a family. There's great resources. There's great help. There's always somebody there to answer your questions, just to get exposure, to get the tools and the tricks of the trade, to get yourself out there. And that's why when I found the organization, I joined right away because I was like, you know what? I need to be a part of this. Why reinvent the wheel? They've already created the roadmap. I'm just going to get on the road with them. So that's what I love about it. And it's a fun group. It's a fun group of women.
Yeah, it's a sisterhood. It's a fun group, and we have your back, as somebody just said to me yesterday. So thanks, Natasha. And Deborah, how about you? What is the value you're receiving from Women Speakers Association?
Well, yes, I agree. It's like a sisterhood. And there's the local community, which is here in Victoria, and we're building this great community where we're getting closer and closer and we're helping each other. And what I also love is the fact that then I've got international opportunities to go to other groups and meet other women and expand my business and get out there. And I love that. And what I also find really surprising is like all the courses of support. I feel like I'm a kid in a candy shop. It's like there's so many. I want to do that one. I want to do that one. And I'm really, really excited about the possibilities of where WSA can take me, can take us, and how we can all help do our best to make this transition a really easy one, because we're using all our potential gifts. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks. So glad to have you and your vision there with us. And Wendy Hall, tell us about the value you're getting from Women Speakers Association.
I feel that Women Speakers Association is just a wonderful resource of smart, intelligent, really with it women who can share so much information with everyone. It's like a little hidden gem, and the ability to hear all these little hidden gems in one spot and be inspired by all these inspirational women has just been an amazing way to get to know people across the country and across the world. And I feel so privileged to be a part of this network and learn from others and be able to share my gifts with those that are then sharing their gifts with me. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful place to be.
Well, thank you for being, all of you for being with it women. And I love that phrase you came up with, Wendy. And for helping our viewers today harness the power of their mind to be the extraordinary leaders they can. And we would love to invite you to come join us at joinwsa.com, or you might want to just download our free Speaker Success Marketing, our Speaker Success Plan at Speaker Success Plan. It actually will take you step by step. So if you go again to speakersuccessplan.com, and that's a great first step to join us. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been so fun to be here with you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for